Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week, or no, this is for the next 6 months. We are going to see what is coming up for you. You start off here with this Yang energy, and you also have this flexible card. I like the Yang energy. It's like the Ace of Wands, and so it can just represent like a new beginning. You also have this flexible card, and what I would say is we are like in a super flexible time where we need to be flexible. You literally have this open to infinite possibilities card, which is saying, there's like more than one way to do something. What I will tell you is last year we had that eclipse in Taurus, and even though we're past that eclipse in Taurus, it doesn't matter. I said during that eclipse that I felt that the energy would be like requiring us to be flexible, meaning like if you want to do anything in life, anything, period, that you're going to have to be open to like multiple ways of doing it. And, that's definitely showing up here in this reading. We have a ton of energy in Taurus right now. So, especially if you're watching this at the beginning of this next 6 months, like June, July, somewhere around there, then this is definitely true. Like I would be open to as many ways to do things as you possibly can be. You have the 10 of Cups, the Chariot, and the 9 of Cups in your first row. So definitely very positive. Could be a lot of good stuff coming in for you. Something, that makes you very happy. I do see love here, but I don't think that's like the only thing that I'm getting that's making you happy. I think that this is, that you're getting something else that you've been waiting for, because you end with the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Swords, and you might be thinking like, oh, that's bad, but actually I see this as good. Maybe there's like a little bit of an obstacle that you're going to have to overcome. It kind of looks to me like that, maybe you've been waiting for a certain job, for example, and there might be something you have to do. And I feel like this is saying, do it. Like, don't, it's like, I almost get, and I'll just show you right here in this top row. I get this energy of like needing to not take no for an answer. Like, let's say, you ask your boss for a raise and they say no. Then my response, if I were you, would be like, what do I need to do to get a raise? Like, I wouldn't just take no for an answer. Same thing with a job. It's like, what you might not realize is that you don't get a job. I kind of feel like this has already happened. So, very specific story. If you've been trying to get a specific job that you haven't been able to get, it's like, I think if you were to do things like follow up with HR or whatever, whoever interviewed you, and be like, hey, what was missing? What could I have done differently? I know this is like super cliche advice, but for whatever reason, it's popping into my head. It's like saying, if you do that, you're gonna get a good answer, and it's going to set you free. 8 of Swords is like a tiny little problem, because 8 of Swords is self-imposed restriction. It just says you haven't figured out how to do something yet, and so. But in your reading, in this reading in particular, I feel like it's so small. It's like nothing. It's just like a tiny little obstacle that could easily be fixed with like a question or something. And again, you might not get the job that you went for. Like if you ask, you interviewed someplace, but it might give you an answer that gets you your dream job somewhere else. So, I hope that makes sense. You have the Chariot, which could be a victory. Could also be a move here as well. You have the Chariot with the Tower. We're going to probably see a lot of global tower moments between now and 2027. Every single person, again, has had the tower. I've never seen the tower so much in my life. And again, I think there's just going to be plenty of global tower moments, more banks collapsing, more stuff. So again, your job is to not freak out about it, right? Like everybody else. So, I would just say, keep a level head, pay attention, all that other good stuff. But you could also be moving. You have the 9 of Cups here. 9 of Cups is like wish or wish fulfillment. And so I do feel like there's some sort of wish fulfillment coming in for you here. And, I feel like it's something you've been hoping for that's been a hard work. We go like this, 9 of Cups to the Tower to the 10 of Wands. This is more, again, giving me those vibes of having kind of like waited for something for a very long time, or trying to get something for a very long time, like a specific job, like I said, or a career. It could be love for some of you as well. It's like whatever, bumpy road you've been on. You have the Chariot to the Tower, which is like you're on the journey, but it's been a bumpy road, Whatever that bumpy road is, I feel like you're kind of getting something that you want. With the 10 of Cups, you have the Star. There you go, like wish fulfillment, a dream come true. Definitely could be love. If it's love, I would definitely say it's like a wish, someone you've been wishing for, like the type of person that you've been wishing for. Everybody gets a star as well, and I also love that you have the Star with the Tower, because the Star comes up after the Tower and it represents healing from a Tower moment. So a lot of you could be already healing from this Tower moment. With the Chariot, you have the 7 of Cups. Everybody gets a Seven of Cups as well. We really need to focus at this time. There are going to be a lot of distractions, a lot of things that are trying to get your attention. And I keep telling people, it's like, focus on what you can do right now. Especially you air signs. It's I personally have a ton of air in my chart. I'm a Gemini moon, Aquarius rising, I have Mercury in Aquarius, and it's like something that I think air signs. I'm not an air sign, but I have a ton of air in my chart, so it's something I really pay attention to. And it's like, if I were an air sign, I would be really kind of like staying focused on like one thing. It's like, this could be some sort of project. I would pick something that you see as a big win, whatever that, like could be starting a business, could be working on your side hustle. It could be saving the dolphins. I don't care what it is, but I would like come up with some sort of North Star with that star card, and I would focus on it. And again, a North Star is just something that no matter what, you always aim at. It's like, it could be a statement that you make. It could be saving the whales, whatever you want to motivate you. I would have something to focus on. If you don't have something to focus on, I feel like you're just going to feel very chaotic, right? So that's why I think it's super, and especially for air signs, for whatever reason, I don't know, it's only coming up for air signs, but for air signs, I think having that anchoring statement, whatever you want to call it, is going to make you feel anchored and not chaos, like in chaos. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Four of Swords. Definitely some sort of recovery coming in for you. Could also be blessings. There's a person receiving blessings in the stained glass window on the Four of Swords. So, I kind of feel there could be some blessings coming in for you. Next, you have this giraffe spirit. It says, see the big picture. You also have the starfish. It says, open to infinite possibilities. So there are clearly infinite possibilities for you. And again, I keep telling people, like with Neptune and Pisces, which we have until 2026, we really need to stay open to all the different ways of doing something. And, and really beyond, this isn't something we should just stop doing. And also, since that eclipse, since Taurus, being flexible, you have that, you start with that flexible card. So, if one way to do something doesn't work, try another. And, I feel like you need to realize that there are a lot more like opportunities for you to do things that you didn't think were possible. Again, I like to remind people that it's like a lot of people, say to me like how hard it is to make money, for example. I'm like, yeah, but it's like I literally make money reading pieces of paper with pictures on them for a living. It's like, the internet has made these like never in a million years has this been possible, right? To make money reading tarot on YouTube, for example. But there are a million other examples, right, that exist. So I don't care what you're interested in. And, it's like we no longer have to, we don't have to have a career. We can, start a YouTube channel or whatever. And yes, it takes time to build. It's not going to happen overnight. But again, I think what I'm trying to get people to understand is it doesn't have to be YouTube that you do, but there are going to be more and more possibilities to make like a lot of money, but we have to be open to those possibilities. And we have to let go of the old world as well, which is what we're seeing with the Tower. You have the Page of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Swords. I talk about this all the time, how many great teachers talk about the new earth, Eckhart Tolle, the new earth. And, I believe that we're already in the new earth. I believe that it's already here. I don't think there's going to be some sort of like light switch where like all of a sudden we're like in some new world. It's like we have to be the ones to make the change. We just have to realize that things are different and that we can do things differently. We don't have to, live by the rules of whatever rules have been created for hundreds of years, right? We can change the rules. And that's going to cause a tower for a lot of people. But, for the people that, are woke, whatever you want to call it, that can pay attention, I feel like we could escape the matrix, right? You have the Page of Cups here, which definitely could be love. Sorry, I'm using all new decks, and the new decks, they just lay perfectly flat on the table, and I can't pick them up. But you have this Page of Cups, and I feel like this could definitely be a love connection that's coming in for you. I mean, you literally go down to the Hangman, to the Empress. So someone finds you very attractive. Could be a Pisces, but I'm not really feeling Pisces for you. I feel it could be just any gender. I feel the Hangman is more, or just any sign is what I meant to say. And it could be any gender, whatever you're into. But I feel like that Hangman is saying that you've been waiting a long time, or, you have waited a long time for a person to show up. I feel like regardless, it's someone very mature, has a lot of knowledge and wisdom of the King of Swords. Could be someone older than you. And again, gender doesn't matter. They're just showing up as the King of Swords. So, and it could be a surprise, by the way, as well. So there you go. With the Page of Cups, you have the Hierophant. Yes, definitely marriage potential. A lot of people have had the Hierophant, and again, Taurus energy, I really feel, even the Hierophant, sometimes I feel like we have to think outside the box. Like he represents, again, coming up with like other ways of doing things. He also lives life by a certain set of rules, right? He kind of represents religion. He is a bridge between the heavens and the earth and everything like that. But, maybe, and I say maybe because we don't know, but maybe we have to break his rules. Maybe we have to break his traditions. And I think to enter into the new earth, the new world, that's like what a lot of us have to do. With the Tower, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, putting in the work. Some of you, if you had a Tower moment in a relationship recently, I feel like you have been, kind of like focusing on your finances, focusing on your money. The Eight of Pentacles to me is also a card of like personal development, so it wouldn't surprise me, if a lot of you were also focusing on yourselves, like in a good way, like focusing on improvements and creating more happiness in your life, or whatever it is that you want to do. I feel a lot of you could be doing that. You could also just be rebuilding. I mean, Eight of Pentacles, literally rebuilding. You could be rebuilding after a tower, which is what we do. The tower always gets reduced down to a foundation, and we always rebuild it. With the King of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. I would be careful of a past person here. Knight of Swords is normally facing this direction, and look, we go Hangman to the Eight of Swords. So it's like a past person could be trying to keep you stuck here, and I would definitely, avoid that at all cost, plain and simple. Next, you have this card that says a powerful change will transform your life. There you go. You have this charity card that says donate to create positive energy around you. It says the more you give of yourself, the more you'll nourish your soul. So, I don't think you have to necessarily give money, but you could be, we can give through inspiring people, just through helping people, things like that. But there's clearly a transformation that's coming in for you. I don't want to say that you're like, I think you're discovering better ways of doing things. Let's put it that way. You have the Ten of Wands, Hangman, in the Moon. Again, Ten of Wands with the Hierophant can be burdens because of what you think the rules are, even though maybe they aren't really rules. It's kind of funny because, I'll just, something that woke me up the other day. I was watching some dude's video about YouTube. And there's a YouTuber, I've never watched him before, Hamza, and his videos are all like 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. The rule for YouTube is that your video should be like 16 to 20 something minutes long. That's like what most YouTubers, I'm sure you've seen, do. Most YouTubers don't do long videos because YouTube is all about retention. And so it's like there's always going to be someone or something that breaks the rules. So I kind of feel that, like, it was one of those moments where I was like, damn, you know what? This like goes perfectly with the astrology. This perfectly kind of fits in with what's going on, right now, is that, it's like you could say you have to follow all these rules, but like, clearly I don't know anything about the guy, but it's like clearly he just feels like he wants to do 2+ hour videos, right? And he gets millions of views. So it's like one of those things where it's like, are there rules that you're following that you don't really need to follow? Or like, are there rules that they're not really rules, right? That's not a rule. YouTube lets you post however long a video you want, pretty much. I think the limit is like 23 hours or something like that, right? And so it's like YouTube doesn't care how long your video is, but it's like, who makes the rules? Or is it just because everybody says that's what works, so that's what everybody does, but nobody really has ever tried it, right? And I kind of feel, I'm not trying to go on a rant here. What I'm trying to say is like, are there certain, things, rules that exist that you think are rules, but they're really not? I don't know. Figure it out. You have the Hangman here. Again, these rules could be keeping you stuck, right? The Hangman is about making some sacrifices, and he's hanging there, but his head is glowing. I keep encouraging people to look for better ways to do things right now, just because I think there are better ways of doing pretty much everything that we do that exist. And now is a time where we could find these possibilities. You have this open, infinite possibilities, but if you're not looking for it, you're obviously not going to find it. So I really have been, strongly encouraging people, like anything you're doing, look for other ways of doing it. You have the moon, which tells me that you're almost at the end of a moon period. We want to get to these mountains in the background there. Those mountains represent an achievement. And, I always say the moon doesn't say stop. The moon says see something through to the end, because then you'll have an achievement. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. What are the rules? The Four of Pentacles, he's holding on too tightly to something, and he's got that city behind him, traditionally on a Four of Pentacles, and it's like, is he holding on to rules from the past? Is he holding on to some sort of foundation? Are you holding on to like a tower moment or something that has caused tower moments in your life? And again, these are all questions I'd be asking myself if I were you. With the Hangman, there you go, the world. Didn't I say something about the world or something? I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You have like some sort of achievement coming in, and also a completion. The world represents the end. And I was saying the new world, or the new earth. It's like you're entering into this new earth where you can create your own reality. Again, something about the world. There's normally the sorceress in the middle of the world, and she's holding like a wand, like the magician, which represents the fact that she can create worlds with her words. And she's holding another wand, which is more like her actions. She can create things with her actions as well. So she is a sorceress. She is a combination of all energy that exists. So she can create worlds. And I really feel that you are in that place, or you're getting there, where it's like you literally, whatever you can think of, you could literally create it. It's going to require work, but it's like now is the time. With the moon, yes, Ace of Wands, you start basically with the Ace of Wands, that yang energy. And then you have the Ace of Wands, which is like inspiration. I also feel that there could be like a lot of attraction between you and a person, but there might be some mystery as to how you're going to bring this situation together. It's definitely popping into my head. For a very small percentage of you, I do feel you could be going back to a person. I think I said this to you last time. I'm pretty sure it was you. I get this weird message. Like, again, if this message is for you, this didn't end like negatively or anything like that. I just get this vibe of, and this might only resonate with a few of you, like where someone moved away and that's why you broke up, but it was never toxic, never a bad situation or anything like that. And maybe now they're like moving back or something like that. So you could be getting back together with a person, but again, that's only for that situation. For others, I just feel that you could, there's like some sort of mystery going on here. The other thing that I would say is like, don't be too quick to write a person off. If you're meeting a new person, it's like you might see a new person and think, oh, they're a player or whatever. And again, I'm not telling you what to do. Someone always comes at me and they're like, how dare you tell me that I should go out on a date or, whatever. I'm like, okay, like do whatever you want. I don't care. Right. But, again, what I'm saying is like, I feel like there could be a person you would be attracted to them, based off of what's going on here. But it's like, maybe at first you're like, can I trust this person? But maybe is it really just past trust issues is what I'm picking up on here. So, again, I would like give a person a chance if you like them, obviously. Next, you have this palm tree. It says, bring ideas to life. Magical creations. Are you kidding? This whole entire reading. You have this mangrove card. Says, stay grounded. Extend your roots and gain stability. Yeah, Tower, Four of Pentacles. I definitely feel focusing on a foundation would be a very good idea for something for you to do. It's like if you're building anything, focus on building a really solid foundation. If you're starting a relationship, focus on the foundation. Do the beginning stuff, focus on the foundational stuff. That'll lead to success. This whole entire reading is about creating a new world, but maybe you don't see it yet. You have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Empress. It's like the Eight of Swords being stuck, not trying something. So I really feel you need to try new things. She's standing in a tiny little pool of water here, and it says that she has shallow emotions. And again, I'm not calling you shallow. It's not like that type of shallow. It just means that she's, worrying about things that she probably just doesn't need to worry about. And there's no swords in front of her, so she could easily set herself free, but she has to like do it. She has to move forward. You have this Five of Wands here, some sort of conflict and competition here. I would be careful of a past person for sure. Returning. But other than that, I feel like you've learned a lot. These people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. And I always say that it really represents learning, this card. And I feel like you have learned a lot with that energy. You have the Empress. So again, tons of abundance. I feel like you're in a very attractive position as well. Again, you have the Page of Cups down to the Empress, which tells me in the world, you could be attracting a person at a distance. That could be part of the mystery, or, that could be part of the, like not being sure about what's going on here. So let's see. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. I would definitely be careful. This is complete right here. Like, do not go back to the past, especially if you were dating like an air sign, like a fellow air sign or a person with air in their chart. That Six of Cups is not a bad card, but could definitely represent someone coming back from the past, even though I don't really read it that way. But you could be thinking about the past here. The Six of Cups I do like with the Eight of Swords, because Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive is a turnaround, meaning like we are bumping up against an obstacle, Eight of Swords, and then we experience some sort of turnaround. With the Five of Wands, you have the Sun. Boom. Love it. I knew the Sun was going to come up because you have the Moon right here, and I kind of got that feeling of leaving behind a moon period. And so I feel a lot of you are stepping into a much happier time. And then with the Empress, boom, you have the Judgment card. Readings where I have Tower and Judgment, which I've been seeing a lot, which is really weird because, again, normally this does not happen, Tower and Judgment. But readings that have Tower and Judgment to me represent, some sort of major revelation or a major wake-up call. So I kind of feel like you're waking up to, your true power, what you're truly capable of doing in life. And so some of you are doing that. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this conversation card. I'd be careful of someone who just wants to talk and talk and talk. It's like, you ever have one of those problems that just, one of those people, who always wants to talk about their problems? That's like what I'm getting here. But it's like if you had a breakup, for example, it's like maybe you've already talked about it with that person, but I get this feeling of like a person who wants to come back and talk about it again. It almost reminds me of like a freaking serial killer. It's like, serial killers, how they revisit the crime and they get off on it. It's like that's what I'm getting here is that, and I said serial and now Siri is going off, which Siri drives me absolutely crazy. But anyway, what I would say here is, it's almost like that. If you have a person coming back from the past, they might just want to be reliving their abuse or, whatever. You have this journey card, and so definitely we see travel here. Some of you could be traveling or moving, and wouldn't surprise me. You have this haughtiness card. I would be careful of any show-offs. This is a card of like someone who's haughty, who shows off, and, all that other stuff. I'd be careful of anyone like that. Could be this past person. You have this faithfulness card. Again, if you're attracting a new person, I feel like they are who they say they are. It's like, a peacock is a liar, has those big feathers and everything like that. A dog is known for faithfulness. So, I would focus on getting yourself a dog, as in a person who's loyal. You have the sweetheart card. Everybody's had this card, which is pretty weird. This deck has 900 cards in it. So, it always surprises me with these bigger decks when a card repeats itself, between signs. So you could definitely be attracting a real sweetheart. As a matter of fact, I would say if you are attracting a person, I think that's what you will notice about them is that they're sweet, they're kind, they're a nice person, they're good to people they meet and everything like that. But this is a really good reading. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy the rest of the year.